I am live. Hello and welcome, and thank you for being here. I know it's what is today? Today's Thursday, and hi Lance, you're first. Awesome, thank you. Don't normally do these on Thursday, but you know what? The people demanded it, so I'm here. I'm going to take a look at the comments. We're going to look at program that we talk about. We're going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk about Mark McGwire. And we're going to talk about just whatever you feel like talking about. It's Thursday. We'll go back in the archives and see what happened on this date. I don't know if Lance, were you first? Were you waiting? You were the person waiting? It's amazing. I appreciate everyone who comes here. It's Howard Stern on this date. Howard versus Jerry Seinfeld. Is that still a thing? Well, we're going to talk about that. And lots of other things. We're still waiting for Artie Lange to come out of hiding. I know. I really thought this was going to happen, but we're waiting. So if you're watching live, and I see folks coming in, this is what we do. Feel like I have to sort of ramp this up. I appreciate people coming in live. If you watch it on tape, it's just me kind of talking to the group, and we go through things that happened on this date, and we talk about the Howard Stern show. We talk about what we liked about the show when it was good, and what we don't like about when it's bad. But right away, off the top, we like to go to on this date and see whose birthday it is and all that good stuff. Again, you can go to the comments and join into this program and say hello and tell us where you're from, and we'll do a little roll call. I started the stream early. I did. I put it out there for a certain time, and I started early. I wanted to get in here and say hello to everybody. Today's Janet Jackson's birthday, so she was born in 1966. Let's actually had to buy Janet Jackson tickets for my wife. She wants to see her. Wasn't real excited to go see Janet Jackson, but I was told it's going to be a good show. So happy birthday to Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Hi there. I know this is what you get when you come in and you see the live show or you watch on tape. Once again, the products are available, so you can see what if you have some stuff. I think there's a really good Beetlejuice thing in there, and there's some stuff from the Howard Stern Leonard Nimoy collection. People bought that on this channel. I was excited. I love when people come in and buy the products. You can check out the description for other things that include my shirt shop. We do super thanks here. We do super chats. So if you're here and you like to give back, and you like to say, "Hey, Brad, thank you for doing this. What a wonderful thing you do," as we sit here in our afternoon and we wait for you to join. Hi, Brad, says Cindy Moon. I don't know Cindy, but I welcome her in. Thank you for coming in, Cindy, and welcome to the chat. And then I read the chat. People come in and we just have a discussion. We chat and we say hello, hello, hello. And that's what we do. Aunt Cindy, that's Aunt Cindy, of course. Hi, Aunt Cindy. Thanks for coming. I like when the family members come. Here's King. Is this King Doopy? Or is this just a King? King asks, how's your dog? So, first of all, thank you very much. Not my dog. This is my best friend. This is my child, and his name is Sparky. And he's also the co-host of this show. And the co-host is doing well. Tomorrow, Sparky gets another appointment, and we will look at his anemia and his red blood cells and hope they go up. And he is sitting in his. We have a crib for him, so we bought him a crib. Maybe I'll put the picture up. And he sits in the crib, and he's just a baby. He's a baby dog, but I love him. And I thank you for asking about Sparky. You're looking fresh, says Cindy Moon. Oh, that's a call back to my father, Al Straubinger, who, by the way, Cindy's my godmother. Now, she's not only my aunt, she's my goddamn godmother. But yes, thank you. And that was his favorite line. Yeah, fresh. That's what he said. I'm fresh. And my dad was not fresh. It's interesting. As you look back and you think about your parents and what they were like when you were younger, and then you get older and you've got like a young child in your house. I have a stepson, and but he's lived here for 7 years now, and I think he thinks I'm a clown, and it's funny because I think I'm hilarious, but I get it. I mean, I'm a whatever I am. It's Henry Fonda's birthday, by the way, too. Happy birthday, Henry. Andy C, 1, 2, testing. Thank you. We are testing this out for proper modulation. as you will know, it's a green type of tube. I don't know the whole speech, but thank you, and I know that's where that's coming from. Thank you, Andy C, for coming in. So again, as you're joining us, we appreciate that. There's Sparky. Can you hear him? Sparky's barking, and we have not heard Sparky. Well, Sparky's been barking a lot lately. He's been jumping off the shelves. Hello. Okay, here we go. The questions are coming in, and this is where we really dig in. This is where we really dig. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I don't want to move my hands, because if you watch on tape, see, just like I just did it again, I can't not use my hands. The comments are showing up on the right hand side there. Have I interviewed Captain Jenks? No, but I did request to interview Captain Jenks, and he declined. Now remember, Captain got in a little bit of trouble there back in the day. I can't remember what he did. Well, let's look it up. But anyway, I did. Well, let's look at my conversation with him. Why don't we just do that, right? Let me find my conversation with Captain Jenks, and I'll just tell you exactly how that went. Let's see. So I sent a long email, and he said, "I'm flattered, but I don't do interviews about the show nowadays. I am just a super fan. I would also love to read the piece you do, so send me a link." The piece, okay. But then he gave me, and someone I tried to get to be part of the program. He said, "You should try Kevin Renzulli on Facebook. He did the most extensive covering of the show, KOM.com. You guys remember that? KOM.com? Remember there was two websites, basically. It was Mark's Friggin and KingofAllMedia.com. So Captain went on and said, "This is the guy who could have covered the show, blah, blah, blah. Kevin was the first person to cover the show on a daily basis on the internet back in 1995. So there was KOM. I wonder if let's see if that even works anymore. KOM.com. But, so Captain had a lot to say, just didn't want to say it on my podcast. So I appreciate you asking, and let's see if that website even opens up. I don't think it does. No, that domain is available. You know what? Why don't we all get together and we buy the domain KOM.com, and we put this show on KOM.com? Who's in? So no, I have not interviewed Captain Jenks, but thank you for asking. Once again, thank you for coming in. If you're just joining, we do a live show here where we look back at things that happened on this date on the Howard Stern program. We talk baseball. We talk whatever the commenters want to talk, and most people come to this channel to see interviews with people who are on the Stern Show or part of that group. And so people ask about people that they might be interested in having me interview, and I try to find them. And I have a full list of people from our last chat. Let me just see who I need to contact according. So I came here Monday, and here's the names: Mr. Skin. So I gotta get Mr. Skin on the show. Jan, again, he's been part of the program, but we're gonna try that. Johnny Fratto Jr., Bigfoot. Someone has Bigfoot's information and they didn't get. Oh, also, yeah, if you want to email me and you say, hey, you should get Bigfoot on. Well, I know him. Here's the pitch with Brad at Gmail is the email. Here's the pitch with Brad at gmail.com. Eron, I've talked to him. Asked Napkin Ed. Someone asked for me to try to get him. We'll see. Let's see. Hi, Andy. I forgot to ask you on the last live. I watch old Howard Stern videos nonstop around the house, and my girlfriend hates it. Does your wife support you listening? Andy, were you in my house just 10 minutes ago? Were you here? Did you hear the conversation my wife and I had? I'll tell you how it went. I said, hey, I'm going to go do my live show. And she goes, oh, great. Go talk Howard Stern with all those dorks. That's not what she didn't say, dorks. But no, she does not support it whatsoever. Even though she was a fan back in the day, and she was very excited to meet Stuttering John. I do the same thing. I watch it all the time. And I'll watch it downstairs, and then if she comes down, I turn on baseball. I love the Stern Show. I love the old videos. And yeah, no, I watch all the time, and she hates it. She thinks I think she's wondering why she's with me. I think I would too. And that's not the only reason. But thank you for that question. And it is funny because she doesn't understand. So this thing I do here, in case anybody's wondering, again, it's hard to come up with content on YouTube. I do like that a little money can be made by doing content on YouTube. not really looking to become famous, although that's what she thinks. Um, uh, but it makes a little bit of money, and this is a subject that people come to this channel for, and so that's why I do it. I don't know why I have to explain this to you folks. You're here, right? She should be here. She doesn't watch this. She doesn't want to watch this. So, thank you for asking, Andy. But yes, that was a conversation we just had right here in the house. Yeah, how about that? So thank you for the questions. Keep them coming. So if you're just joining in, thank you. We're 10 minutes in, and the room is filling up, full of people. And I like to welcome everybody in and say hello and thank you for coming. So what we do here, we go live once, twice, 3 times a week, right around this time, and we talk about what happened on the show this week. We talk about what happened on the show, the Howard Stern show back in the day. We talk sports. I look at the comments, and then people ask if I've tried to interview some of the people. Because if you come to this channel and you take a look, you'll see that I've interviewed Doug Goodstein, Tim Sabian, Beetlejuice's handler. Like, I basically try to get anybody who's associated with the show, and people seem to enjoy them. So that's what I do here. We do super chat. We do super thanks. So if you see that and you're like, hey, Brad, thank you for doing this. You know, I was having a bad day and I turned this on and it became worse. I've really wondered about my life after I turned on this live stream. What about Mark's friggin'? Can't believe the catalog of old Stern he has, says King. I did ask Mark's friggin' to be part of this program, and he politely declined. He said, I really enjoy your channel. I think that's what he said. I could be wrong if he doesn't even know who I am. But I was interested in talking to Mark's friggin', and he did decline. So yes, I've reached out to Mark's friggin'. But this is fun, too, because you folks can see how many people I've tried to reach out to. I have a list probably of 300 people. I mean, I tried to get Lisa Lampanelli on. We were this close to having Lisa Lampanelli on this program to talk about her days on the roasts and just the good old days with Howard Stern. I was hoping to get Norm Macdonald on the program. But even like just who else? Like I'll have to come up with, you guys ask and I'll come up with some names. Hi, Mike. Can you do an impression of Artie Lange's impression of Jeff the Drunk? You're hurting me. Why? Let's see. I don't want to be too loud because it's Sparky sleeping. What? Wait, how does he do it? That was it. I think that's it. Let me see if I can. Give me a line. What would he say? Because that's all I can remember from Artie doing Jeff the Drunk. Oh, shut up, you bitch! I don't know. That's my Harry Carey impression. That was bad, but thank you for asking and welcome. So again, I try to, as soon as I start explaining what we're doing here, it seems to lose people. So, but we'll see. I mean, I like this. When people see that we're live, they like to pop in, they think something's happening, and then they get here and they're like, nothing's happening. What are we doing? What about Jeff on the show? Jeff the Drunk? Okay. I did ask for Jeff, and he politely declined. No, thank you. I don't know if I've, let me look here. I can't spell, I don't know who that, Ali Poo, I don't know who that is. So I haven't asked that person because I don't know who that is. You know what I'm going to do now? Because it's that time, let's go to the map and take a look at some moments from the show. May 16th, 2002. Today is May 16th, correct? Yes, it is. And we'll look back at that in a second. I like to make sure I get to the commenters first. So here's Tony Cardinal. How's life in St. Louis? My brother lived in St. Charles, away from the hubbub and crime. Tony, there's hubbub and crime in St. Charles. Let's call a spade here if we're going to be honest. Life is beautiful. I actually went to the MLS game last night, St. Louis City, a loss to the LAFC, LAFU. I don't understand soccer, but I will say it's fun. The soccer is fun, and the city's doing okay. Now, if you were to listen to our mayor, you would think we're in a renaissance. I don't know where she lives, but she calls what's happening is a renaissance. You know, when people get run over by cars and running red lights and people are dying in the streets, that's a renaissance, according to them. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. But I do hope, I hope for the city of St. Louis. I hope that things get better. I don't believe that the mayor that is here right now will be the reason for it, although she will take credit. if anything goes right. And I think they cook the numbers. But thank you for asking, Tony, if you're wondering how life in St. Louis is. And we talk baseball on this program. I think it's funny. The Cardinals won 3 in a row. There was a little bit of hope. And then last night just gets shelled. Lance Lynn is just not. They brought in these old pitchers. And you know what's crazy? It's like the Mets are having the same thing. So, the Cardinals went on the cheap. And let's go to the record books. Let's go to the map. So the Cardinals go cheap with their way, and I'm just going to do the wild card. And the Mets go and just spend and spend and spend. And right now the Mets are 19 and 23, and the Cardinals are 18 and 25. They're right there. But the Cardinals have caught the Pirates and the Reds in the NL Central, all of them with 25 losses. So. Some baseball talk here, and we'll continue that if you have any questions about baseball. Mike says, "Can you get Sal's wife's emotional friend?" What was that person's name? I don't remember. I don't know if I'm interested. Ross, thoughts on Andujar not starting the All-Star game circa 1985? I don't know why that happened. Now, I'll be honest, I was way young then, and it's when my baseball fandom started. It was Lamar Hoyt, was it not? Lamar Hoyt who started that All-Star game. He was 15 and 3. Well, I'm going to put the pieces together right now. Dick Williams, I'm assuming, was the manager because the Padres went to the World Series in 1984, so he had his own guys start the All-Star game, and he was 15 and 3. So that's my thoughts. Hi there. Tigers would be great if they had any relievers. Now, this is interesting, King. I watch a lot of baseball, and we can talk baseball a bunch. I thought for a while Detroit had a pretty good crop of relievers. I thought Shelby Miller was doing a nice job. They've got Foley, Alex Lange, and Holton. You guys have relievers. You did, at least last year you did. Now they maybe ran Holton out there too much. But you got a closer. You got a closer who's not even closing. I think you're okay. What are those Tigers doing? Let's go to the map. Let's take a look here. Tigers are 21 and 22, 3 games out of the wild card, 3 and 7 though in their last 10. So I have to take a look and see what's going on there. Maybe you need some more starters. Ross Dog's broken spirit. Whoa, I thought I knew 85 baseball. Well played. Yeah, 85. I'm kind of autistic with baseball, so I can kind of just pull that out of my ass. And I've watched the 1985. You know that, like, if you watch back, I don't understand baseball. I don't understand why. This is such a dumb take, but let's wear their uniform. Let's just wear the regular uniforms. It's way more fun and more colorful. Like all these dumb. Hey, make this. You go buy this uniform. Is anyone really buying an all-star uniform? I want them in their uniforms. Ross, I predict Mason Miller will spend 75% of the next 5 years on the IL. Mason Miller, of course, is the Oakland A's reliever who throws 117. This doesn't seem sustainable. You're correct. I did see him do some time on MLB Network and was talking about his mechanics. And he has pretty good mechanics, but it doesn't seem sustainable. I think now here's a guy that I get really. I need to know more. I used to know more. Like I used to be more ingrained in the Cardinals and down there and be able to talk to people and get more informed opinions. Unfortunately, I'm not as much. But my anger a lot. Well, I could go on and on. But Jordan Hicks. I don't know if you guys remember Jordan Hicks pitching for the Cardinals, but he threw 103, and he didn't know where he was going, and that's all he did. He just would fire it up there, tried to throw a slider, and it wouldn't work. And he always wanted to be a starter, and they didn't have a spot for him somehow. And then he gets traded, and of course he goes to San Francisco. Now he's just honed it. Now, could we not get that here? Could we not coach him up and make him at least learn how to pitch? Or did he have to go to the Giants to learn how to pitch? It pisses me off. And he's, Tyler O'Neill's coming back to play against the Cardinals. He's going to probably hit home runs this weekend. But yes, that's angering. But thank you for bringing it up. I'll talk baseball all day with you guys. We'll talk whatever you guys want to talk. Aaron Judge is on a heater right now. The Yankees? Anybody watching the Yankees? I know everybody talks Yankees, but look at them. They're 8 and 2 in their last 10. They've won 4. They won today. They're 30 and 15. Did anybody see this coming? Did anybody think the Yankees were going to be any good? I'm kind of surprised. But Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton definitely having a heater right now. Hello, Ross we need to stop and thank. And if you're watching live, I appreciate Ross Dog's spirit. Super chat coming through. That is very, very nice of you. We can talk baseball all day here. If you watch on tape, this is what we do live. People come in, we talk. Ross, thank you. Correct take on the awful 57 uniforms. Nike is vomiting for MLB teams to wear. All teams should wear their uniforms circa 1984. I agree with that. And thank you again, Ross. Very, very much appreciated. Big fan from Sweden. Hello, KDST. Thank you for coming in. And big fan? You're a big fan of this channel or just a big fan of baseball? You just tell me. But again, we can talk whatever you'd like. I was just about to read some moments from the program of the Stern Show in May of 2002, but we got into baseball talk, and I'll talk baseball all day. And maybe this channel becomes that. And then Andy C earlier asked, "What does your wife think about when you watch YouTube?" I'll say, "I'm down there talking baseball," and then still be bad. Big fan of Artie Lange and you. Hello, KDST. So thank you for that. I'm also a big fan of Artie Lange, and I'm a big fan of you. I thank you for coming in and saying hello. And I appreciate, again, if you saw what Ross did, I think we should try to up. Who wants to outbid Ross? Thank you, Ross. We always appreciate super chats and super thanks. I have memberships. We have one member, and I'm thinking about how can we make this membership like really sing. So if you become a member and we get a few of them in here, maybe we'll do like a group chat. I don't know, but that's available. Check out my description when you're watching this live or if you're watching this later. But this is what we do. We just have a free-flowing talk. And haven't even really talked about the Howard Stern, Jerry Seinfeld dust up. Although that seemed to go away real fast. Did it not? Because it's woke. Everybody's a little bit woke these days. Artie is a huge fan. Artie is huge in Scandinavia, says Ross. Didn't he film an awful film in Germany and fornicated with a German woman of the night? It sounds like a correct story. I don't remember the movie or when that happened. But I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past that baby gorilla. And I'm waiting. When is Artie Lange coming back out of hiding? Now, again, someone told me that he was going to be coming to Twitter and starting up his podcast. Maybe he's recorded them. Maybe he's already out there. Let's do a theory. Let's do some theories. Maybe he's recording them right now, and he's just gonna vomit them out starting in June or July because he's got like 8 or 9 of them. I'm gonna go back and talk to some people and see where he is because I was told he is back, but maybe something bad happened. Who knows? Hello, KDST. Yeah, he is. Howard TV on demand, 06 to 09. Golden years. Listen to all the episodes through med school. Best way to relax from intense day. It's a similar thing that I would do. I had a stereo in my house in the kitchen in 2006 where I lived. I remember that vividly. And I'd come home. What was I doing now? So I was working Cardinal stuff. I'd come home and I'd check out Sirius because they were playing the show, of course, on loop. Even back then, I would tape them. I would tape them in the morning. It was so weird back in 06. So I've always been behind technology, but back then I would take the tape and I still carried a Walkman in 2006 because I had the tapes. I wasn't sure I wanted the immediacy of hearing the show that day. I didn't want to try to create MP3s. Later, then I figured out about how to download the shows from torrent sites and all that good stuff. But yes, thank you for coming in from Sweden, and appreciate you saying hello. I love a good I like when we do a little roll call and see where everybody's from, like Lisa G would do. So just pop in and say where you're from and what you're doing. I got to get to some of these comments. Tom Jones, Ayatollah Blassie is the king of... I don't know what that means. Lord Humongous, did you know that the Blue Jays won the 1992 World Series against the Braves, which is also the same year that Perry Careful... Okay, stop it, Peg. Lord comes here all the time, and I appreciate that. I love people that are here and loyal. But he's always nasty in the comments in the chat. But hi, Lord. Thank you very much. Martin, thank you for recording them. KDST, have you ever met Artie, by the way? Yeah, I've met Artie 3 times. The one time that I remember, so the 2 were quick, but the one we had backstage passes. I don't remember how I got his manager. I mean, imagine if I had a podcast back then. I would have had Artie on the podcast, but I wasn't doing a podcast. But I went, he was doing a show here downtown, and he let us come backstage and we talked. It was right after the Joe Buck incident. So we talked, I knew Joe, I know Joe. We talked about that a little bit. And he seemed out of it. He seemed, his eyes were glass. Now it was weird because we met him before his show, which I wouldn't be, if I was doing what he was doing, like stand up, I don't think I'd want to have people in my dressing room before the show. But me, my brother, my buddy Ted, we all went in. We got photos with him. We talked Stern. We just, it was amazing. It was great. He was super nice. Would have loved to hang out with him later in the night, but sounded like he had some other things going on. But yeah, I've met him a few times. Nice fella. Do you think, hello, Martin, thank you for coming. Oh, you've already said something. Do you think the Howard Stern show has fell off? I can't even read it with that grammar. Come on, let's get that grammar together. Has fallen off. Yes, it has. And I know, again, I sometimes I get sensitive to one comment. And I had one person come in here and say, you always come in here and just complain about how bad the show is. It's bad. I want to know how many people really listen. Like, how I want to know what the difference is between even 2015, which I wasn't listening then, but literally like 2009 when, or seven. Let's go. What's the best year of Sirius, right? I would say 08, 09. You have Artie kind of there, coherent sometimes, not. What's the difference in the subscribers now? But no, it's no good. Ross Stern. Oh, I gotta bring it down here. Ross says Stern fell off a cliff, crashed and burned like Artie Lange, then fell down a mine shaft. Okay, we're just gonna read some comments here. We're live, and thank you for coming. We do this live on Mondays, sometimes Thursdays, and maybe 3 times a week. Do you like watching Howard on the E channel? Guests for you to interview: Richard Simmons, Dice Clay, Howard's daughters. Who out of those 3? I wonder who I'd have the best chance. I guess I could get Dice Clay probably. I don't think Richard Simmons is doing interviews. I certainly don't think Howard's daughters would do interviews. One of his daughters went to school here in St. Louis at WashU. Howard would come in and visit his daughter in the St. Louis area, but I don't think any of his daughters. Oh, they did. What they interview? They do stuff for like the New York Post, or what's the lib one out there in New York? King from Japan by way of Detroit. I'm a big Otani fan. Hello, King. Yeah, I am too. And by the way, if you watch this channel religiously, I have been on the Otani is not guilty. I don't believe he did it. I don't think the, and then I said the reporting, they never really talked to another interpreter, and they never talked to Otani. They talked to the interpreter who was embezzling money. I believe Otani. I don't know, maybe I'm nuts. There's a lot of times I don't believe people, but here we go. Let's see. KDST, I'm a psychiatrist. I think Artie shit all steams. I think Artie shit all stems from unresolved guilt. Could be, or he could just be a drug addict, right? I mean, who knows? This kind of started in the 90s for him. Thoughts on Otani using this interpreter as a fall guy, Ross asked. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just, I'm sorry, I didn't even see that, but I just was I'm trying now to keep up with all the people commenting. I appreciate that. But yeah, like I said, I don't think his interpreter is the fall guy. I think his interpreter is a bad guy. Now, I could be totally wrong. But if he is a fall guy, what a great fall guy. Holy cow. He's going to go to prison. He's, I just wonder how you didn't know. But I guess he didn't know. I want to make sure I get back to the comments, but we'll get into this Otani thing some more here. Is Stern bald? Another $5 coming. Who's that? Who just did that? Lord, you're the best. Let me read here. Let's see. Stern peaked in 1992, the same year Perry Caravallo. But hey, now stop that. All right, okay, Lord. But thank you for super chat and super thanks. You can do that as well if you watch us live. You see the comments coming through here. So thank you, Lord. I very much appreciate that. Guilty of not holding his ladder. I see that. Sirius 07 is one of the answers to the question of when was the best time. Interesting theory. Olaf? Are you calling me Olaf, Ross? That's fine. You can do that. What is your theory why Howard won't talk to Jackie? As for Howard, I think Howard is just frightened of him. I think he does talk to Jackie, does he not? I don't think Jackie's on the show anymore, but Jackie, he brought him back and had him on a lot. Artie, I think he feels completely guilty and is worried that if he ever talks to him again, and then he goes off the cliff. They're going to blame Howard. So I think that's why we don't hear that. Damn, Lord, are you trying to make me look bad? Thanks. Thank you. Yes. Hey, I think the super chats, the super thanks is really honestly an amazing thing, and I appreciate it so much. You people are great to come here and do that. But again, we do this live twice, 3 times a week, and we hang out, we talk. I see who's here. We got some regulars that pop in all the time. Lord's here all the time. Lord Humongous is here all the time. Wait, I just said the same name twice. Ross is here all the time. Lance, thank you to all you guys. So make sure if you're new coming to this program, like and subscribe. I always put out new programming all the time here, and I try to at least, or I repurpose stuff until I get some new stuff. People get so mad at me when I repurpose. But anyway, I'm trying to get through the comments here. Sorry, did I miss one? I'll have to go back and watch. Let's see. Hey, Brad, first time, long time. Finally caught you live. Thank you, the quiet overlander. Yeah, no, so I do, and by the way, I try to schedule these out early. So if you are subscribed and you have notifications set, you'll see that when I'm going to do this. And most times I follow through. Sometimes I don't. I try to. So Mondays for sure. We're gonna do these on Mondays, I think every Monday. So let's call that the weekend dump. Let's get in here and just talk. But and then we'll try another one during the week. Ross, were you pissed when Vance Lavalier and Dunn went to Pittsburgh? This was 1987, and the trade was April 1st, 1987, and they acquired Tony Pena. I was not. So again, young at that point. What was I? I was 10, maybe, and all I knew of Tony Pena was he was great, and Van Slyke wasn't really hitting. My dad hated Andy Van Slyke. Didn't think Lavalier was going to be much, and Mike Dunn, he won 11 games that year in '88 for the Pirates. So it looked like in the end, it may have been a mismatch. But you know what? You know what happened? The Cardinals went to the World Series and could have won it. And anytime you make a big trade like that and it changes the course of the team, I'm not saying Tony Pena is the reason why they went to the World Series, but he was a big portion of that team. They needed a catcher. Maybe Lavalier would have got him to the World Series. I like the trade. Thank you for asking. Can you get either Richard or Sal on, says KDST. I would think no, but maybe when they retire. I just don't think anybody who's currently on the program would be on the program. I'll be honest, I haven't reached out to them, so maybe I will. I know, Sal does like a YouTube channel, a cooking thing with Doug. Maybe we'll see. Maybe Sal just wants to come in and open up. I don't think Howard would like that. Yes, that's right, Ross. I'm sure Howard won't allow it. Casper. Is it Casper? Is that it? Is KDST Casper? I don't know. I think Stern peaked in the Artie era as far as popularity and content. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think there was that kind of that rise, and Jackie's talked about it on this channel where you could just see it happening, like, going from 1 station to 3 stations to 70 stations to movies to, it's just amazing that Jackie left right in the middle of the rise. But it changed the course and made the show better, and I love both eras. I mean, I think they're great, especially if you go back and watch the YouTube stuff from the mid-90s. Jackie was a giant part of the show. Thank you so much, the Quiet Overlander. Super chat, super thanks. I have memberships available, but people are coming through today and saying thank you to me, and I can't thank you enough, so thank you so much. Yeah, this is great. All right, let me just make sure I'm not missing any comments, but really thanking everybody. What's up with Scott Salem? Is Stern wearing a toupee? How do I like these things, by the way? I gotta get in here and like. Let's see. I just did. I just liked my own super chat. I believe Stern is wearing a toupee, but it's not really out there, but I think that's kind of known. I think people have said that. Ross's dog spirit, correct. Cardinals should have won in '87. The '85 or the Twins cheated with their in '80. Anyway, I can't read what you said there. We got a member. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? King, thank you, King. Thank you, Lord. You just became a member of the Jackie level, so we're gonna have to figure out what we can do once Maybe we'll do our we'll figure it out. I promise. But thank you. This is a wonderful day. People are just coming through and saying hello and becoming members and giving super. I feel like I'm doing like a what am I doing here? I'm doing like a telethon. There's King coming through. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Great show. Sparky will be back soon as co-host. I thought about having Sparky come on today because he's feeling that good. So he'll go to the doctor on tomorrow, and we'll bring him on Monday. So everyone come back, and we'll talk, and we'll have Sparky as my co-host on Monday. Let me make sure I'm not missing any comments. Lord, I'm not reading that, Lord. But yes, I looked at that. I did look that up. What you're talking about, I still don't know what that means, but I guess I should. All right, just making sure I haven't missed any comments. Thank you, Lord, for becoming a member of the Jackie level. I really appreciate that. We'll come up with some good stuff for our members. Where does Stern broadcast from? Does he wear a toupee? Tom Jones asks. Stern broadcasts, I believe, mostly now from West Palm Beach. This is weird. I drove by his house. I did. We were in Florida. We were in Palm Beach, and we drove by. And quite interesting. What a palace. And then I think he does a little from New York, but I don't know how much he's in New York now. I think he lives in Florida. Ross, the Card should have found a suitable replacement for Jack Clark when he went down in '87. Dan Dreesen, come on, man. Yeah, that was, he went down in September, and I don't know how many people you could have found. I don't even know how they got Dan Dreesen. Now, how about Cesar Cedeno in '85? What a replacement. It was a better time. You could just pick up Cesar Cedeno and he could hit like 8 home runs and to carry you to the pennant. But yeah, Jack Clark not being there in '87. Also, Terry Pendleton was out. How they got to Game 7 is amazing without Tom Lawless was playing third base a bunch. Tom Lawless had 2 hits during the regular season in 1987. He had 3 hits in the playoffs in 1987. It's one of my favorite stats. I'm Casper. Yes. Yeah, you right, Ross. In your opinion, which Artie saga or show saga was the best? Chat can also answer, would be cool to know. Which Artie saga or show saga? So I'll let the folks kind of here in the chat talk, and I'll try to think of that on my own. You love the Artie versus Crystal Clear. See, the Artie stuff, I mean, I love the sleeping stuff. I love when he'd let him take naps. It was just hilarious. So that I'm gonna say that if we're talking sagas or the fights, everybody he fought with once he got high and just decided he was gonna fight with Teddy and High Pitch Mike and Richard and Sal and throwing things, and I mean he was trying to get fired, and they never fired him until he finally had to get fired. Cedeno hits 375. Yeah, I mean, just this is Ross talking, but Cedeno, Cesar Cedeno, just felt like and then he was gone. He was a Dodger in '86, but it felt like every time he was up, he was gonna hit one, murder the baseball. I watched the Artie Blue Iris makeout episode when he lost the bet against the Mets. That was peak Stern. I forgot about that. Yeah, I have to find that. Is that on YouTube? I'm sure it is. Artie and Blue Iris. Oh, I used to be able to do an impression of Blue Iris too. How did that sound? I used to do it all the time. This is fun. I'm having a good time. Again, I like to reset. Hello, welcome. We're live. If you're watching live, this is what we do. We have a commentary going. Sometimes we look back at things that happened on this date. We talk sports, or we just kind of shoot the shit and see what's going on. So I appreciate you watching live, and I appreciate if you're watching on tape. I had a lot of folks watch our taped version of Monday's show, so it seems like people are into this. You can see the comments when we go live. So let me make sure here I haven't missed anything. Joey, thank you, Joey. Hello. The naps are the best. Yeah, I love I mean, and then they would have the you just hear him snoring over. And he tried to do Robin's News, and anyway, it was great. Why did Jeff the Drunk turn down an interview to you? He probably wanted money. He did not ask for money. He flatly said no. Let me see. Where did I ask him? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find exactly. So, Jeff, we talked about this earlier. People were talking about who have I asked for interviews, and someone asked me, have I asked Jeff the Drunk? And I did. Let me see if I can find my... Instagram is so hard to figure out, like, I know I'm an old man. I'm an old as they say. But where is my chat? Why is that so hard? There it is. Okay. All right, and then I can't see either. Jeff Curro. All right. So February 2023, I asked Jeff, "Hey, just checking in to see if you read these. What do you need?" That's what he wrote. I wrote what I wrote. Just basically, hey, you know, I've had people from the show, not just whack packers. Would you be part of the show? I'm good, thank you. Which I took to mean I don't want to do that. You know what? Should I do it right now? I'll ask him. I'm gonna say just let's see if we can get on live. We can get Jeff. You know, what if I call him? I'm gonna call him. You know what? We're gonna call him. Let's try it. Why can't I hear anything? We're calling Jeff Curro. Let's see what happens. Calling Jeff Curro. There it is. Okay. This is fun. I'd like a steak and I'd like a shake, says Joey. I'm surprised Jeff said no. Anyway, you have a giant dent on your head. Yeah, you know, I don't know where that came from either. All right, I don't think Jeff's going to answer. This is fun, you know? Why don't we just do this? We just bombard people and call them. Is this what I look like, by the way? When I look down on that? All right, he's not answering. We'll try that again, though. I like that. That was fun. We'll try calling people and just see. Man, I got to go all the way back here. I haven't seen. The naps are the best. Why did Jeff the Dunk turn you down? Okay, that's why he probably wanted money. Yes, sir, it's on YouTube, so I think we're talking about the Artie Blue Iris thing. The naps, Artie and George relationship was also funny. That was funny. George was playing along, and it was fun to watch. It was with the wrestler that came out as gay. The whole episode is hilarious. Is that wasn't that guy killed himself too? I think, right? I can't remember his name. Chris Adams. Who do you want to interview from the Howard Stern show? I love that you had Tracy on. Thank you. You know, I would love Baba Booey, Robin, Richard, Sal, Benji. But of the people that aren't there now, who? You know, I wanted to have Greg Carmel on, and he was close to coming on, because he was there a long time. Who else? Who's left recently that would be interesting? So we had Brent, we had Shuli, but no one's left recently. And then back then, I want Artie, of course. Thank you though, Patty. Yeah, I have it down on my head, Joey. I have no idea where it came from. Let me see. Right here? This thing? That guy? Or is it this guy? I can't. I don't know. I don't know if it's a beer bottle or something. I'm surprised Jeff said no. I don't think he was a part of the show anymore. I think that's probably why he said no. So now I'm just trying to get back to the comments. Lord Humongous said, hell yeah. Jake, which sports interview went sideways where the player was offended by your questions? I've heard you mention, but never heard the details. Was it Pete Rose? No, Johnny Bench. We have a, hold on. Whenever we get a super thanks. Jake, thank you so much, Jake. Another super chat, another super thanks. I'm going to love it. You're the best, Jake. Thank you so much. Which sports interview where a player was offended are you mentioned? So it was Johnny Bench. And you can see it on this channel. It's the first thing I've ever posted, but I did a cable access show back in the day. And Johnny Bench, I'm very angry when I asked if Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. The interview was going fine. I was a kid. I was like 18 when I did that interview. And, but it looked like somewhat professional. I was asking professional questions and just the simple question of, should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame? And he went nuts. You can take a look at that on my channel. It's like my #1 most viewed video. Just recently, Mark McGwire, that clip has been circulating in the last 2 or 3 years where Mark McGwire gets mad at me. I was a reporter. I wasn't even a reporter. We were doing a sports show, still the sports show. And McGwire had 2 home runs in 1998 in a day game, mid-May. It was like home run 21 and 22, but the Cardinals lost 7-2, which is what happened every game that year. Like he'd hit home runs and they'd lose. And so he goes, hey guys, I'm not talking about the home run. And my buddy Kevin was like, whoa, why don't you ask him about going back to Philly? That's where he played his first Cardinal game. I'm like, okay, let's try that. And I that didn't go. He's already been back there, son. And then the next question was, well, the offense is struggling. So I start on the fly trying to come up with questions, and it just, I didn't have anything prepared. It was stupid. It was my fault. Me and Big Mac got along after that, but you can see that on my channel as well, and that one's gained some traction of late. Fernando Vina got mad at me, Cardinals second baseman in the mid 2000s. Albert has been mad at me before, Albert Pujols, but we got along pretty well. But just being around them a lot, I could tell more stories about that. But I want to make sure I get back to the comments. But I will continue with some of that. So that's that. Artie Roast Mayhem is insane. Lord, a few months ago, High Pitch Eric was doing live YouTube, and he just sat there doing nothing and would occasionally chime in to ask for money. That's funny. Hey, it's me, High Pitch Eric. Does anybody have any money? I need to go look and see that. Steve Langford would be fun. Steve Langford's been on the show, Lord. I'm going to post a classic clip of him on Sunday, and a repurposed clip of Steve Langford. I'd like to have him on again, and he declined. He politely reclined. Joey, Bag of Donuts. The Daniel Carver roast was awesome. I have to go back and listen to that, because that one I don't remember well. But yeah, I'm sure it went well. How long till you get Artie? Have you tried a lot? Yep. Try all the time. Try whoever his management is. I try his old numbers. I try talking to his sister, who I used to have contact. That's actually how I got in touch with him the first time, I think, because I knew his sister. I don't even know how I knew his sister, or how I got. Anyway, through that channel is how I got to know him early on. So I will continue. But thanks. Who's this dude? Looks familiar. LOL. 21 Savage. Hi there, 21 Savage. No, I'm Brad. I'm your YouTube friend, Brad. Hi there, Juan. Thanks for coming in. I don't know why I look. You know, people say I look like Norm Macdonald. I'm really. Someone retracted. Ryan Rooney interview. Son of Sean. Possible? Huh. Okay. I will take a look. I did interview his brother, Bobby. Bobby's been on this program and was great. And we haven't had him on again. I've tried. Maybe I'll try him again. I gotta go back and put that in my want. So this is good too, because then people come up with names of like, hey, you should try this person. Did I miss anybody? Normally, when I stop down, I'm like, okay, that's good. Great show. Hey, King Doopy, thank you for coming. How's Sparky? Oh man, thank you for asking. People have been coming in looking for my co-host, my dog, and my best friend. My best friend. Sparky's doing great. Sparky's been amazing. So Sparky, for those that are new to the show, I'm going to have him here Monday. He's going to be my co-host. He's had 4 blood transfusions. So right when I started doing this live thing, Sparky'd come on, and he wasn't feeling great. So I'm like, maybe Sparky wants to talk to the people. Well, then he started not feeling well. 3 Fridays in a row in April, we were in an emergency room getting him a blood transfusion. So he'd go to the emergency room. He'd stay overnight. Well, he stayed 4 days. Every time he'd come home and he'd be okay, and then he'd start getting worse. I'm like, take him again. And so every doctor said he's going to die. He's not going to make it. Well, most of them thought that. They said, there's no way he's going to make it through 4 transfusions. Well, now he's doing amazing. I should bring him down. Maybe I'll go get him. We'll see. But Sparky's doing great. We go to the doctor tomorrow. I'll give you guys an update on Monday how he's doing. My grandpa used to do security for Mark McGwire's personal parties at his home and other events. I would like to hear more about that. Is your grandpa still alive? Quiet, Overlander. Of course, he declined. What's going on with Elliot Offen? Is he legit nuts? Yeah. His name comes up every time we do these. I have no contact for him. Someone I thought told me they did. So if you have contact for somebody that you want to try and see on this program, you can email me at here'sthePitchwithbrad@gmail.com. I'm always interested in seeing. I would love to have Elliot on because he's nuts. Hello, back from an errand. Hi, all. Lance. Lance, you've missed a big show. We're having a good time. Hi, Brad, says Juan. Thank you. Got a lot of folks coming in with super chats and super thanks, and I can't thank you enough. I appreciate that. People seem to enjoy what we do here. Again, we do it once, twice a week sometimes. Definitely going to try to every Monday so we can have a little weekend wrap-up, and then I'll pop in during the week whenever it's good for me and if it's good for you. And I schedule these out early, so if you subscribe right now, if you subscribe and turn on those notifications, you'll know when we're doing this. Steven, I think we should talk about how horrible Howard Stern has become. And I just don't mean the show. I mean how woke and nauseating he is. Yeah, I mean, we do that all the time. I mean, yeah, we do that, Steven. Let me see if I've missed any comments here. Right? Okay. Going to work night shift. Keep up the good work. Good year, everybody. Thank you, Casper. Come back on Monday. We'll be here. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Steven, for the love for Sparky. We love him. Your grandpa is still alive. You're 28, so my grandpa wasn't that old by that time. Well, I would love to hear those stories. I'm sure it's probably not. I mean, maybe they're great. I don't know. But Mark McGwire had some fun. King Doopy, gonna love this. Gonna like it. King Doopy coming through for Sparky. I will mention, and this is not to be like high pitch Eric, but let's just say this has gotten costly. This Sparky stuff has gotten costly. But I will also say, now, do you guys have dogs? Do you guys have old dogs? This guy's almost 10, Sparky is. And through work, I can get doggy insurance. And so the first couple years we had it, it didn't seem like there was any reason this was to have it. You know, you'd go to the vet, you'd get some pills, nothing was covered. Well, this year, it's been covered. Like, we met a $2,500 deductible, and now they pay 80% of his visits. And trust me, going and getting 4 transfusions and being overnight at hospitals, the dog has cost a lot of money. I only say that to say thank you for doing the super chat and super thanks. I really enjoy it. Quiet Overlander, you'll see if he'll tell you some juicy stories about the park. I would like to hear that. I saw Mark out a lot when I was younger, back in the day, going out, doing my thing, scouting the town, and Mark McGwire would be sitting at the this place called Harry's in St. Louis. It was like the Friday night spot. It was also the Saturday night spot. And at Overley, you could see the arch in the background, but it was outside, and they had bands, and he'd just be sitting in the corner. Like, he wanted to be seen. I always thought that was interesting, because you'd think, you could go anywhere and kind of hang out and not be, bothered. But he seemed to want to be seen, that Big Mac. So we had a good day here. I appreciate everybody coming in, and we've gone over 50 minutes. We still have a lot of people here, so we can continue talking about anything you'd like. Hello, Roger. Did Howard ever respond to Kanye's comments on being old and a has-been? Did Kanye say that? I haven't seen. But Kanye's just a nut. Do we need comments from Kanye? I have not heard. I have not heard if that has been addressed by Howard, but maybe those out here can tell me. So I did not, by the way, listen. Did I listen to any of the shows this week? I think I listened to Monday. I wanted to hear the Seinfeld thing. And did you guys hear how that went? Jerry called like right away. I'm sorry, Howard. I'm sorry for calling you not funny. I didn't mean it. Like, he came like what is wrong with these guys? Like, anyway, so didn't go anywhere. I was hoping we'd get like a good feud going, like the old days where Howard would come on and just rip him a new asshole for 3 hours. Nope. Jerry called him right away, and so that is over. Seinfeld is so fake, says King Doopy. Yeah, has anybody seen the Pop-Tart movie? I just can't imagine that being any good. Well, I'm not going to check that out. I think I'm going to pass. So we haven't even looked at any. Do you guys want to talk? We talk sports. Is there any other sports question? What do we got tonight? Let's take a look. Well, we got the Knicks are taking on the Pacers tomorrow night. I don't know if we got NBA fans here. I'm not, but I might have to watch that. We've got the Mets Phillies coming up here in a little bit. That'll be fun. Let's see. It's interesting. The Rays and the Red Sox. The Red Sox come to St. Louis tomorrow. The Red Sox are playing a night home game, and then they're coming here. So they'll be worn out, right? Probably not. But that's what's going on in sport. Hi, that's what's going on in sports. Now to the weather. And I think I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for coming today. This is a wonderful show. You are King Doopy and Lord Humongous and Ross. I cannot thank you all enough for your contributions to the program today. It is well appreciated. And if there's anything I can ever do for you folks, I will try to reciprocate. Hopefully just being an entertaining part of your afternoon is why you're doing that. I appreciate that. Go Oilers, says the King. Rooting for them as well. The swap shop guy died recently, says Mark. Thank you for your call. Jack Mayhofer. Thanks a lot. All right. Phillies are rolling along. That's right, Tom. They are. I like the Phillies. I always like the Phillies. I don't even understand when they're bad, like how they're bad. And I think they just get bored. I think they're like, what are we doing? Let's get to the playoffs. Why do we have to play the freaking Mets again? So I'm looking forward to, it was 20, what year was that? When was the last time the Cardinals were in the play? 2022. I remember the Cardinals got to the playoffs. They won like 17 in a row in September. And so they kind of backed in, and they were playing a wild card game against the Phillies. And I go to the game. This is like when it was a 2 out of 3. But I look up at the scoreboard and I look at the lineup, and I'm like, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper versus, I don't even remember who we had Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt had a great year, but it was like no contest, and the Phillies swept us. So let's go Dodgers, says Krista. Hello, Krista, the Dodgers. Yeah, I don't think the Dodgers, you know what I like to talk to Dodger fans about? That they haven't really won a World Series since 1988. Oh, I know, you won the one, but that was a COVID year, and that doesn't count. So every year, I'm not sure if it's Dave Roberts, but I gotta say, I don't like what they do in the playoffs. They do it all the time. They screw around with the bullpen, and they try to get like Max Scherzer to come out of the bullpen to pitch 4 innings, and their starters, it sounds like an Andy Friedman type thing, but I don't like it. And I think that's the reason why the Dodgers haven't won, because they don't do what they do in the regular season. King Doopy, but Dodgers buy their teams and lose. Is Gary the Conqueror, I'll say, alive? He is. I believe maybe I'll try to contact him sometime too. Thank you, Krista. Appreciate that. I speak the truth here. I enjoy watching the Dodgers. I like good baseball. But I do like when teams try to buy it, and then what I really like is when you get these guys who are just too smart. Just let these guys, you had the best talent for 10 years, and you haven't won a World Series. 2020 does not count. Okay. Quiet Overlander. I see him at Star Strip Club in Salem. Is that true? Do you really see? Are you in Portland? Anyway, that'd be interesting if Gary is out there gallivanting around a little bit. Possibly a Lenny Dykstra interview. His interview with Howard on using his fingers on older ladies is one of the funniest Howard interviews ever. Yeah, I think Lenny, probably pass on Lenny Dykstra. I don't think he's all there. But those 93 Phillies, those cats, wow, they were having a good time. Sparky, I don't know if you guys can hear Sparky. He wants to be part of the program. All right. Hand to God, you can see him there on occasion. We're talking about Gary. So thank you all for coming here today. That was Sparky King, that's right. And we'll have him be part of the program on Monday. Definitely come back Monday. Set up the subscription. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Get the notifications on so you can see. But normally Mondays we go on right at 4 Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, right around then, or 4:20, somewhere in there. And we come in and talk about the weekend, talk about the show, sport. It was what we did today. We had fun. I had fun. I hope you did too. And I really thank you for coming in and doing super chats and super thanks for the folks that did. And we have new members, and we'll continue to do that. And hopefully get more memberships and come up with a thing that we can do. Once we get the memberships together, we'll have something real special for everybody. But thank you, everybody. We'll see you Monday, and have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.